Artificial intelligence is drastically changing real estate right now. And so I'm here with a powerhouse in the real estate industry, Kendall Bonner. And we're going to be discussing today about some of our favorite AI tools and what we're seeing shift in the real estate industry and how you can get ahead of the game. And so, Kendall, I know that you've been a national speaker, you're a previous attorney, or you still are an attorney, a former broker, team leader, executive to one of the largest brokerages in the world. So you've done a lot. And I know, last but not least, you're a student to the game, is like how I like to say it. Did I miss anything on there?
No, that was great. Other than one of the most important things are the fact that you and I are business partners with our dear friends, Tony Cruz and Veronica Figueroa, and a free community for real estate professionals called Climber, CLIMBR. Leave out the E. And Climber community is where you and I and our friends give back to the industry everything that we've learned, everything that we've experienced. And, I'm really proud of that. If I could say one of my most proudest achievements, it would be partnering with the three of you guys and building community for agents by agents that supports their growth and experience. So yes, that would be the last.
Hey, same to you. It's been an honor, and it's fun watching how quickly, Climber has grown, and like so many people love it. They get tons of value in it. If you guys are watching or listening, we'll put a link for where you can join for free. But let's dive in. Real estate is changing. AI is changing the world, and I want to help people get ahead because, I study AI full time pretty much. I was a speaker at the AI Bot Summit. You were there with me. And so first, let's talk about some major shifts in the industry. What are you seeing right now with AI in the real estate industry?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question because I think that's probably one of the most challenging things for people as we're in the early adopter phase of AI is what else, what is out there? What are all the ways that it's shaping and reshaping our industries and, not just real estate, but the world, and corporations and everything. And, there's a couple that I'm super excited about and I can't wait to dive in with you because I'd love to hear your perspective on these. Like I know for me, for years, I have been obsessed with voice AI and wanting to bring that into my business, meaning I'd love the concept of having no longer having humans be customer service where, we drop the ball, we don't answer the phone, or we fail to get back, we fail to give the actual correct answer. Having AI be a part of that conversation and helping consumers get to their answers faster, I think is like super game changer. And then of course, I'd love to hear what you think are one of the biggest, hottest new trends in AI that you're seeing right now. I love voice AI. What about you, Jake? What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, voice AI is huge. And, I came from other industries. I have a marketing agency and multiple industries. And when I came into the real estate industry, the first thing I realized is a lot of people really love teaching cold calling. They're like, you got to make your calls every day for 4, 5, 6 hours. And I was thinking about it, when you're doing all these cold calls and people are not even answering the phone and you're literally spending your time just listening to it ring or hoping somebody picks up. And then when they do pick up, the chances of them really engaging with you are very low. It's just like, to me, that's not the best use of time. Like I would hate spending 4 to 6 hours of my day doing that. And so with voice AI, you can literally replace that. Like the voice AI can do that for you, along with being an ISA, along with taking inbound calls, along with so many other things. And so, yeah, voice AI has been huge. And for the real estate agents, we've teams as well that we've implemented it for. It's been a total game changer. Like, literally they've been able to, cut down their staff, and the way I like to think about it is we get asked this all the time. And I think even maybe you guys asked me this, I don't remember, but you're like, Jake, does it sound like a robot? And the way I like to talk about it is, one, this is the worst it's ever going to be. It's only going to improve from here because AI is growing at a rapid pace. It's getting exponentially better, but it already sounds pretty dang good. If I had to pick between that, and we've actually tested this, if I had to pick between that or an ISA that's from the Philippines or India or somewhere like that with a heavy accent or even any accent, I would definitely pick the AI because it sounds very American, it sounds very natural, and it can have a conversation. It's not just, it doesn't really sound like a robot. And you've listened to them. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree that it definitely, the beautiful thing about voice AI is it could speak to you in any language, right? Like it can also adapt, right? So if you're an English speaker, it can speak English. If you're a Spanish speaker, you can have it so it's trained in Spanish. I mean, the adaptability of voice AI is crazy bananas. I also love too this concept of, as a team leader, I was obsessed with how do I help my agents spend less time doing the things they don't love doing and more
Mhm.
time doing the things they do love doing, right? Like that's part of my job and my role as a co-team leader on my team is like separating out the task and the responsibilities where, for example, a lot of real estate agents don't love like the business side of things and the operational side and all the systems and processes and like managing and setting up all the tools. So like our team does that versus, they get to go out and talk to consumers and like and helping buyers and sellers do what they aspire to do, which is transact real estate. And so to me, one of the things I found frustrating for some agents was, you know, when you're making your phone calls, dealing with the emotions of the person on the other side who was not expecting your phone call,
Mhm.
right? Yes. I love that voice AI can take inbound calls. Like I love the idea of it replacing that. One of the frustrating things for us was having someone answer our phones 24/7. So like having that replacement. So we ended up hiring a service for that and then using that to set appointments for our agents, et cetera. But also too, it can take over now the outbound call side of it and make calls on behalf of agents and help set those appointments as well. So that way the consumer is getting what they need, the agent is getting what they need. And, we have more win-win and more happy situations and scenarios. So, because at the end of the day, the AI, they don't get frustrated by the no's. It doesn't get emotionally attached to the outcome. And it can memorize the script and it can react naturally by listening and then responding with the next natural question, which is a skill that I know is so hard sometimes for, agents and leaders to learn because, it requires our brain to do like 20 million things at the same time. And, that's just not very fun, right? At the end of the
Right.
day. So voice, I think, is like a huge game changer and huge opportunity for the real estate space. And I heard a survey, I can't remember what it was, but one of the surveys said that consumers prefer an AI bot conversation over talking to humans because they're getting the answers that they want in a timely fashion, which crazy, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was looking at a townhouse, late last year, and multiple apartment complexes, they literally had the voice AI, and it even allowed me to book a showing, book an appointment, and it was so much easier to use than trying to get like the office person on the phone. I mean, I enjoyed it from a customer perspective.
Yeah. And what if you were calling at 11 p.m. at night, right? No agent wants to be answering their phone at that time, but you never know, a consumer, that might be the only time they have to like have a conversation about something. And I think if nothing else, what I've learned post COVID is people enjoy two things extremely like with high levels of enjoyment, relevance and convenience. And AI
Mhm.
can offer both for
Yeah, for
sure.
sure. And not just voice AI, but like chat AI, like being able to reply to a message or like a simple automation that everybody could implement right now is literally just if they get a missed call, have system send a text message that said, "Hey, sorry I missed your call. Currently with a client right now. How can I help you?" Just that
Right.
alone could potentially saved a lot of missed opportunities.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So many of us are trying to do things manually and we're missing opportunity because, listen, there's only one of you. There's only so much time in the day, and there's only so much you can handle and do at any one given time. So I think the more we can leverage tools and resources to do more on our behalf, I think the faster, the more efficient, and the more focused we can actually be, which I think leads us into our second like hottest trend right now. You want to tell the audience what we're talking about here?
Yeah, for sure. So agentic AI is huge right now because there's different levels of AI. I've heard, people say, well, yeah, I use ChatGPT to write something or write an email. And okay, cool. That's the basics. That's like level zero, AI or level one. Now, if you want to get to like level 3 or 4, that's agentic AI where you can literally have it, people may have heard of Claude Code, Claude Cowork, or, things like Manus, Perplexity, Computer. One of the hot trends right now is OpenClaw. So there's all these different agentic AI softwares that can literally control your screen for you, control your computer, do things for you on a scheduled basis. That way, like, let's say that you wake up, like there was one agent I was talking to last week where he said, yeah, every morning I wake up and for 2 hours I do this, this. And I was like, did you know you could actually automate that with simple ways? That way, that 2 hours, you can either do something else, or, you can spend time with your kids, or, whatever you want to do. And so I was able to help him free up 2 hours a day with a simple Agentic AI prompt or system. And so other examples of, I don't know, have you used Agentic AI at all?
I have not fully dived in, but I will say this, and I love what you're talking about here, because really what people need to understand is the hottest trend in AI isn't the content or the creation of content, whether it's words or images, etc. Although I do want to talk the image piece and video, but it's replacing tasks we used to hire people for.
Yeah.
And that to me is what AI voice does. That's what agentic AI. So if you're someone out there listening today and you're like, what is this agentic AI? Like, I thought that was ChatGPT, or I thought that was Claude, or some other LLM or large language model. We're talking about when AI, like Jake said, can take over your computer and do things for you and on your behalf. So I like to think of it as like autonomous AI. Like right now you're dealing with automations, perhaps, but this is like a whole new level of autonomy, as like can change the game, is totally crazy, but also really awesome, because I'm in pursuit of efficiency and leverage always. Like every new business I start with the end in mind, I'm thinking about how am I going to leverage myself out of this at some point. And so, agentic AI is going to make me that many more steps closer to that end game and to that end goal than ever before. So I'm super geeked out about it.
And by the way, if you want our free checklist on some of the best ways you can use agentic AI for your real estate business, we actually have a full checklist guide on our Climber community. It's completely free to access. We'll put the link below. It's hosted on School. And so make sure you check it out there. Now, going back to agentic AI, like one of the things that I love is Claude Cowork. And so, for example, here's a very good tactic that people listening or watching right now can use. If you go to Claude Cowork, you can actually tell it you give it access to your computer and say, hey, I want you to control my browser. I want you to pull up Facebook. And for all those who use, Facebook groups for referrals, like let's say somebody's like, you're in all your local groups and people are asking about an agent, asking about housing, whatever. Like I've seen people who hire people full time just to monitor the Facebook groups. Now you can use Claude to monitor those groups. And then that way, when somebody posts, you can have it where it comments back and reaches out to them.
Yeah, that is so cool. And I think like some people might think like, wait, is that authentic? Is that real? Is that, and a lot of people think that, but I will tell you this, at the end of the day, when you're a recipient, like sometimes all you want to do is just to be acknowledged and heard, right? And it doesn't mean that you as the human on the other side don't actually go back and read the comments and respond, but it's really just about building connections and keeping people in the loop and sort of thing. So for those of you that are hearing that and like, wait, you get a little pause or a little worry, don't worry, you can turn the volume up or down on these things, right? And I think too, like, it's just important to, especially when you're talking to people who expect to be communicated with quickly and need that kind of fast communication, there is a real opportunity to leverage AI to help you do that so that you can actually get to the opportunity to having a relationship and building a relationship with your customer. Because otherwise, without that speed to action, right? We call it speed to lead, but speed to action, you may not ever even get the opportunity to have that phone call or that phone conversation if you're not leveraging tools to get there quicker.
Yeah, because think about it, like the number one way to have referrals and people to become repeat customers is to give them the best experience. If you're with a client and you're sitting there, looking at your phone and answering the messages yourself and all this stuff, they're going to feel like you're kind of neglecting them because you're not giving them your full attention. And so now, you can give a better customer experience to people, which leads to more referrals and, repeat customers down the road instead of, looking at your phone. AI is doing all that dirty work, but AI is doing all the menial task for you.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's, to your exact point, a better experience for both sides. It's a better experience for the person you're with face to face in that moment. And it's a better experience for the person who's waiting for their chance to get attention from you as well. It's letting them know, hey, I see you and I'll get to you as soon as I can, right? So with that, Jake, I think we should move into like big question I actually have for you, especially you are a marketing expert. You are previously outside of the real estate space, like building businesses. You're such an amazing entrepreneur. And I'm curious from your perspective, What is the greatest growth opportunity for real estate agents, especially from, the perspective of AI, marketing, all the things that you are so inherently and masterfully, adept at?
I think one of the biggest things is search. And so, for example, like the past, 15, 20 years, it's whoever ranks number one on Google tends to get a lot more listings, a lot more people, you're found on Google. Well, now, like
Yeah.
that's still the case, but Google has implemented Agentic AI. So now that sometimes when you ask Google a question, it doesn't give you website links. That first answer is a summary that's AI generated. And where's it pulling that information from? And so that's the key to figuring out, okay, how do I get ranked from it? And we call that AEO. Some people call it answer engine optimization. So like you're optimizing your stuff to be the answer. Some people call it AI engine, but either way, we call it AEO. Like, so for example, I was talking to my friend who I used to be stationed in Alaska with. He's in the Air Force with me. He moved to Pensacola, Florida a couple years ago, and he got his real estate license. And I talked to him it was literally 2 days ago. He was like, yeah, I'm on track to make about $1 million in commissions this year. And this is like his second year in real estate. And I was like, how are you getting so many listings? And he was like, people are finding me on ChatGPT and AI. And so if you can learn how to get ranked on ChatGPT AI, that's amazing. Now, we can have a whole separate podcast or class on that. We'll probably do that in Climbers to make sure you're in that community. But one free tip I'll give you up front right now is YouTube. And so if you can create videos that are optimized for, what location you're in, all that. Google obviously pulls from YouTube because it owns YouTube, but also ChatGPT looks at YouTube as well. So make sure you're keeping your YouTube channel up to date.
Yeah, that is so good. I absolutely agree. I mean, I just stat from an event I was just at last week. She was saying how real estate professionals, for example, are dominating in places like Facebook, primarily Instagram, but where the greatest opportunity for real estate professionals right now for marketing is on YouTube, right? And to know that YouTube doubles as another resource for AI. So like you get two bangs for your buck, right? Like that's just win-win-win the way around. So definitely appreciate that. Any other tips or ideas that you think are good call outs?
Yeah, another ranking is now Instagram, because like before July 1st of last year, Instagram did not rank on search engines. It wasn't what we call indexable to the search engines. But after July 1st, it became indexable. So what does that mean? It means that it'll read the transcripts of your Instagram reels. It'll read the captions. And so make sure you're tagging your location. Make sure you're doing very descriptive captions on your Instagram post. And one way you could do that is put it into something like Claude and say, hey, I want to rank high being a real estate agent in this city. Please expand my captions for this post to make it rank higher for search engines.
Ooh, that's a good tip. I like that. Awesome. I know, like for me, one of the things that I think is really interesting too right now is leveraging, for example, and I'd be curious to get your feedback on this, systems, like building systems for follow-up, as well as just like systems for your business and being able to leverage AI to support that. Tell me, like, what's your thought on that? Like, I feel like now more than ever, like if you don't have a documented business strategy and business plan and business model, meaning like, here are the 10 things I do when I'm prepping for a listing, or here are my steps between buyer consultation and going, helping buyers write offers. Like to me, all of that today can be systematized and written out with the support of AI. Any thoughts or insights you have right there about that, Jake?
For sure. So to me, that's part of a good CRM. And so having a CRM that doesn't just manage your leads, but also helps you establish your business processes or automate them. And so, for example, we use it's a version of Go High Level called Apex Agent Command. Go High Level is a CRM that is basically customizable. And so it's like the framework, and the way we customize it is very unique. It's built for real estate agents. And we've had a lot of team leaders and agents who, they were on Follow Up Boss or one of the other CRMs, and they quickly came over to our platform because they saw how much better it is, because it integrates AI much easier. Like you can literally write out what we call workflows. And so let's say that you have a new lead come in, like, what happens after that? Are you going to send them a text, an email? Do you have campaign? Do you have, like your current systems, you can automate that stuff so that you don't have to think about it, because we're all human. So even if we're the hardest working people ever, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to forget to send this or forget to follow up, like especially when you start dealing with a lot of different listings and stuff, it's easy to forget. And so being able to automate that is so important. And so we use Apex Agent Command for that.
Well, two thoughts on this. Number one, I use Go High Level also, and I feel like Go High Level is just so much bigger than a CRM because I've used a handful of CRM career. Like, it is a business management tool for sure. It can be very overwhelming if you don't know what you're doing. So I love that you guys put together Apex Agent Pro, because that takes all of the best features of Go High Level and makes them applicable to real estate professionals, which I think is great. But my second point is, listen, I'm on the front page of Follow Up Boss. So to all my FUB users out there, don't quit using FUB. I still love FUB.
Sorry, I didn't realize that.
So anyway, I have to give a shout out to FUB just because I'm blessed to be on their followupboss.com site.
Nice. And the good thing is, like, I've heard great things about that too. I think the key with any software like that is, does it integrate with things like Claude Code or Claude Cowork or Manus or any of the agentic AIs? You want to make sure your software integrates or has some kind of API key or MCP compatibility. And I know Follow Up Boss does, I know Go High Level does. And so just make sure that whatever softwares you're using to manage your business can quickly be scaled with AI.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And in fact, I a lot of I have a ton of relationships with a bunch of different CRMs out there, and I always feel like it's not necessary for a CRM to be all things to all people. What is necessary is for it to connect to all the things its clients connect to. So I love open systems where these CRMs are willing to play ball with the other partners out there. It's like, listen, you don't have to like do it all, right? It's okay. I have a joke that I say, Jack of all trades, master of none. It's like, listen, no one said Jack knew how to do fill in the blank. Anything well, right? So it's like, you don't have to be a jack of all trades, but I believe in specialty. I believe in having a niche and doing something at the highest level and doing it really, really well. And so the most important thing is that your tools are able to talk to each other to create efficiency. So you're not feeling like you have to pop it in here, copy and paste it in there. And then, you don't want to manually enter things 10 times. Like, that's inefficient and nobody wants that for you or your business, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about some other AI tools. So what kind of tools are you using right now day to day?
Yes. I mean, I use several. Of course I use the large language models, right? So like I pay for ChatGPT, I pay for Claude, I pay for Gemini, right? And so, but how I use each of them is like different. And like, just a quick tip on how I discovered like which one to use for what, because I do believe there's room in your business to use any number of tools. But like, I started by pasting the same exact prompt into more than one LLM to kind of see what output I got. And that taught me like, oh, I use this tool for that, this tool for this, and this tool over here for this other thing. But like the ones I would love to talk about are, for me, like, I love creating images with Gemini. 9 times out of 10, I get my best image creation out of Nano Banana, but I will post the same prompt into ChatGPT. Like, so sometimes I'll use ChatGPT to create the prompt to then paste that into Gemini to get the image I want. Mm-hmm. And then I started using a new tool called Kling AI, and that's with a K, Kling. And that is how I get my images to move. Now that's been really fun and crazy because I'm still not a master prompter for video, but I'm having a ton of fun with it. I've gotten really good with my image creation. So I know that just with a little bit of practice and time, I can build up on Kling. And then speaking of video, my other favorite tool right now that I'm still using to this day, I've been using it since I want to say 2018, is BigView, BIG. And that one's been a game changer for my business and my career. I believe in that head of video concept. And I just feel like there's no better tool out there than BigView for me and my business to create that content and to be able to disseminate it in an effective way. And it leverages AI. So like in a number of different ways, which we can get into if you want, but I just want to drop that right there.
Yeah, I love Big View. I started using it recently when I met the founders or the owners at one of the conferences we went to, and they have AI avatars. They have a great teleprompter app, which is also very convenient on the phone because that way I can just read stuff off my phone without having to try to memorize stuff. And so
Yep.
many other like agentic features that I really love about Big View. And then I also Notebook LM. Real estate agents, one of the top things I love to teach is you want to be like, we all heard that you want to be the local expert. You want to talk about, the local market, or if you're moving to X city, like all those videos that we see, those are obviously very important, but it's like, what if you don't have time to sit there and do all the research yourself? And so with Notebook LM, you can literally just take all your main competitors or other agents in your area, add their videos to Notebook LM, and then it'll literally scrape their videos and give you a summary and help you write your own videos. And then from that summary, you can either make your own videos, or they have a feature called like podcast. And so it'll literally create an audio podcast for you that talks about market updates, talks about local going on, all the stuff that you would want to hear from an agent. Plus, it'll help you get ranked higher. And so you can use that podcast feature. And now you have your own podcast without ever having to actually record anything yourself.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Like, people don't realize, like, sometimes the goal isn't you, it's the attention, it's the capture of mind share, right? And market share. And it's like, and content is king and queen in capturing mind share and market share of people's brains. And so, more, and it's not about creating, in my opinion, like just more noise, but content that people actually care about and they want to hear. And so, like, the more you can leverage AI to get better at your content creation, I think, yay, again, win-win, right? Like, let's do the noise, let's get rid of the junk, and let's bring quality content that people actually want to hear and learn about. And I think tools like Notebook LLM help just like cut right to the chase on that for sure.
So yeah, with AI, we could keep going on and on, but to summarize it, I don't think AI is replacing agents at all, but I do think the agents who don't use AI will get replaced by those agents who are obviously utilizing, because now you can take one real estate agent who has the power of AI, especially agentic, and they can do the work of 10 agents with the right automations, with the right system. And so I do think that the people who really embrace it over the next 1 to 2 years are going to have head and shoulders advantage and beyond, really forever. And so definitely check out AI. The AI tools that we mentioned, definitely check those out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, join the Climber community, and you can literally talk to us directly, message us there. And then Kendall, thank you for being on here. I appreciate it. It's always an honor to do an event or a show like this with you.
Oh, thank you, Jake. It is an honor and a privilege here. I love geeking out with you on stuff like that. You are so smart, so wise, so accomplished in everything that you've done in your industry. And now, as I watch you take over real estate, I am just honored to be on this journey with you. And I can't wait to watch you continue to make a massive impact.
Awesome. Same to you. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching, listening. Let us know what your thoughts are if you have any questions in the chat, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.